Two internet giants, one burning question. Which one really delivers? On the left, Starlink, high-speed satellite internet that can reach nearly anywhere. And on the right, Frontier, reliable fiber and DSL for homes and businesses. Let's skip the buzzwords and get to the real stuff. Each category earns points, and at the end, you'll see exactly who comes out on top. The result might not be what you expect. All right, quick peek at how this matchup's going down. We'll start with technology and coverage, then speed and performance, price and fees, because who doesn't love saving, customer experience, and wrap up with who these are actually best for. Ready for a full tour? Let's get into the first round. Okay, first up, technology and coverage. Starlink is kinda wild. It throws hundreds of satellites into low Earth orbit, meaning you can literally get internet almost anywhere. Seriously, if you're chilling in a cabin or road tripping through the middle of nowhere, Starlink's got your back. Now, it's not totally flawless. If you're in really remote spots or there's some gnarly weather rolling in, you might get the occasional signal drop. But let's be real. What other option covers that much ground? On the flip side, Frontier's more the traditional player here. We're talking fiber optic and good old DSL. If you're in a city or suburb where they offer fiber, you've got solid, stable internet. Like, nothing's really going to knock it offline unless you're super unlucky. But there's a catch. Frontier and DSL just don't show up for the truly rural folks. So, who takes the win here? For straight-up coverage and that everywhere vibe, Starlink comes out on top. Next, speed and performance. Starlink's no slouch. We're talking up to 350 Mbps on download speeds, and latency is actually way lower than you'd expect with satellites. Usually you're sitting around 20 to 50 milliseconds, sometimes as low as 5, which is honestly insane. Plus, there's no data cap drama. That said, actual speeds can bounce around depending on where you set up. And yeah, it's not quite fiber optic snappy. Frontier's fiber service, though? It's a whole different level. Some locations can pull up to 5 gigabits per second. Yeah, you heard that right. Almost overkill unless you're running a home data center. Super low latency, totally pro for anyone streaming, gaming, or zooming all day. But, and it's a big but, those crazy speeds only show up where fiber's actually installed. Their DSL? It's honestly kind of sluggish by comparison. Think anywhere from 1 to 15 Mbps. Bottom line here? Frontier wins out strictly due to fiber's nutty top speeds and consistency. Let's talk dollars and cents. Starlink keeps it simple with flat rate, no contract pricing. But you gotta shell out $80 to $165 a month, plus a beefy equipment fee up front, talking $349 to $599 for the dish and all. And yep, you do all the setup yourself. Frontier, meanwhile, starts as low as $50 if you're cool with DSL, or just under $60 for fiber plans. Most of the time, they'll run promos with little to no upfront cost and no data caps to worry about. Only caveat? Those sweet intro prices will go up after a year or two, and sometimes you'll see random fees for equipment or install. Even so, for pure value, Frontier totally takes the cake on pricing. Oh, and here's something cool. Did you know Starlink satellites zoom at just 550 kilometers above Earth? While those old-school geostationary satellites cruise at like 35,786 kilometers. That's why Starlink's latency is so much lower. It's wild. All right, let's get into customer experience. Starlink is kind of the new kid. Setup's all DIY through their app, which is actually kind of fun if you're into that. Reviewers dig the speed and reliability, but if something goes south, it's app-only support, and responses sometimes take a while. Not the best if you want a human ASAP. Frontier's been around forever, so they've got phone, chat, even in-person support options. Plenty of long-time customers. But, and this is key, reviews on their support are all over the place. Some folks say it's legit. Others grumble about hidden fees and slow service. Still, with more ways to reach someone, Frontier edges out Starlink here. So, who are these actually for? Starlink is pretty much made for remote, rural, off-grid peeps, and anyone who loves messing with new gear. Frontier is best for folks in cities or suburbs who want max speed. Think busy families, work-from-home pros, even gamers. Neither's perfect everywhere. Frontier just doesn't show up in some far-flung towns, and Starlink isn't ideal if you need tech support on speed dial. But really, this round's a total tie. It all comes down to where you live. Let's take a snapshot. Picture a radar chart. Starlink covers more ground, but Frontier nails price and ridiculous fiber speeds. Customer support? Goes to Frontier by a hair. And for who wins? Depends on your spot on the map. So my final take? If you're living off-grid or keep moving around, Starlink is a game changer. It just works where others won't. But if you're lucky enough to have Frontier fiber in your neighborhood, honestly, I'd go for it. It's just faster, cheaper, and more consistent for most folks. Check where you live and pick the one that fits. If you dug this breakdown, don't forget to scope out what's actually offered where you are. The zip code makes or breaks this choice. Until next time, stay